When we look at Jennifer Lopez, what do we see? We have a very successful woman with a super extreme bright life who manages to stay always outside. There is a lot of tension, there is a lot of contradiction, and certainly it took her a long life and a lot of effort to achieve what she did. So my idea today is to show you what stands behind Jennifer Lopez as a personality. We will go through periods of her life and you will see what in her personality type, what features, what peculiarities, what energies were predominant, maybe even in different periods of her life, that made her make those choices she did. Whee! Hello everyone, my name is Lana Kuzovova. I'm the founder and creative director of Asian Spirit. This is the neo-oriental luxury fashion brand, which I own already for 15 years. It's not just a fashion brand, but it's the project which unites fashion, art, and psychology under one roof. It seems very maybe unusual, but actually it's a beautiful system which helps women to identify their psychological type, to understand the ratio of different psychological types within the type. So we do a lot of disclosure for that analysis. We discover it and then we work on the beauty side with the beautiful handmade garments that we produce together with the Asian and Eastern couture designers. And today we will talk about the amazing personality Jennifer Lopez, and I will give you, let's say, the public disclosure of her archetype, and we will talk about her biography. We will go together through a beautiful journey that hopefully will be useful for you. All the details you will see under our video. She always wanted to be number one. She always wanted to be the best. And these are the features that characterize actually the Amazon and the Queen, and in even I would say predominantly the Amazon, because they always want achievements. It's a very basic personality trait that we can already as a typologist identify in her. And of course, we all face fears. The fear that we will not become number one, that we will not achieve it. The fear is one of our biggest triggers that actually consume a lot of energy in our life. How we can identify that Jennifer Lopez is an Amazon? Because for her, fear is not the trigger that is basically just taking the energy from her. It's giving her the energy. It's feeding her because she knows how to transform the fear into action. And this is a very strong trait of the Amazon. Actually, I want to share with you that the society overall has the order for the Amazons. The Amazons, they are loved by a society. They are welcomed by a society because they always have what to present and say, I did this, I was number one here, I got a medal from here, I've got a red diploma or diploma with excellence from here. So now when we have already understood that the key and basic archetype of Jennifer Lopez is Amazon, we will move to the second one. The second one is the creative archetype. It is actually the function through which the first archetype is being implemented into life. Jennifer Lopez in the second function is a queen. How we can see this? When she became more and more grown up, she started to want a scale. She became a perfectionist. Everything that she was doing, she wanted to bring to the point of perfection, to the scale, to make it bigger, to be number one in everything. This is very typical actually for the Amazon in the first function and queen of the second one, because they already know how to transform the fear into action. So now the second thing they want to employ is the scale. This is also we can see because the person is never resting in only one sphere of their life. They want everything perfect and big. They want kingdom. This is a very deep psychological need for the queen, to have the kingdom, not just to have a home, not just to have a house, not just to have one job, but to have a lot of presence so that everyone knows that she is here. And certainly she deserves it. And of course, we can see the whole empire of the brand Jennifer Lopez, where we see also the branding, where we see huge concerts and a very big production. So we know that it's not going to be just a concert of a singer. It's a huge show. It's world tours. It's a lot of scale. This is like Queen everywhere. Now we have to see what is the cost of maintaining yourself all the time in the archetype of a queen. The key problem that they have is loneliness. Every queen, she She has the subconscious need to take everyone else as servants. She is lonely. She cannot take everyone as equal. And before we go and assess Jennifer Lopez's two weaker archetypes, the lover and the fairy, it's very important to understand how her Amazon and Queen were evolving and how actually she grew them up like a huge muscle in her first, let's say, period of life and career. And even starting, I would say, her role in the movie Selena from 1997, which was her first big success in the movie industry. It brought her a lot of fame, but also it brought her a lot of pressure. This was the point of no turning back when she realized that now she will have to live with this presence, with this pressure, and she cannot step backwards already. So she has to sustain herself in this super young role of Queen and the Amazon and achieve more and become better every day. And this mask of perfectionism, I would not say that it's not her basic mask. It is one, it is her nature, but blocks you very much from employing two other archetypes. Now we have come to, I think, the most important and most interesting part, especially for our female audience. It's the personal life of Jennifer Lopez. And we will try to look a little bit into the reasons of why such a beautiful, talented, charming, and strong woman has failed to build some really long-term relationship, and how always she thought that this will be the last partner in her life, like the final destination, but none of her partners became this final destination. So if we look at her archetype chart, we see, and we already saw, that she has a very strong Amazon and a very strong Queen, which give her a lot of power, a lot of energy, a lot of ability to bring things from the beginning till the end, and a lot of success. We all have our own expectations from personal life, and every woman by gender, even if she has a double yang energy, she wants to meet a person who will be same strong or even stronger, and who will give her this feeling of the ability to lose control and feel herself like a small little girl. Is it always the truth? Because the strong person, the strong leader, never stops to be the strong person and strong leader. And in even coming home, and even like in the romantic situations, the person remains the same. And we have really to understand it. And that is why actually the system of archetypes builds on the principle of balancing each other. So if the woman is actually the Queen and the Amazon, she has to search for a man who has the strongest archetypes, the lover and the fairy, so that they, maybe it's not the social order, this couple will be harmonious. What happens in the real world? The Queen looks for a king, then they meet each other and they start to compete because they look at each other subconsciously as rivals, and everyone wants to win the bigger portion of the kingdom. So we can see that the earlier personal life of Jennifer Lopez was a little bit chaotic, and she was trying herself, and she was choosing partners from the same dancing or the creative profession. But then eventually she came up with a partner with the Mark Anthony, also same background, but he's a kind of milder person, I would say, and we can see he has a little bit of a fairy archetype, but definitely he's also a leader. He's also quite a strong personality and self-censored a lot, and they tried to create a family, but he was not ready to give her the full control. He was not ready to have a dictator who tells him what to do, and for Jennifer Lopez it was impossible to give the control. So even though they had beautiful children and everything, this didn't work out. And the same with Ben Affleck, the love of her life. The story actually shows us that people never change. We can try and deploy different archetypes. We try to wear different masks. We try to maybe sometimes act for a long time in our role function, but we are the way we are. And same issues that happened in this couple in the first, let's say, series of their life, the same things happened later, because Ben Affleck is also a person who is not actually allowing others to control him. And for him, this super public life, this scale, it became very heavy to maintain it all the time. And despite the love and attraction between them, and actually I will go a little bit further and I will say that, as we typologists say, that they're very attractive because her role function is his main function. So it's very attractive because for him it's natural and for her it's the role one, and vice versa. But it could not happen in the long period because she demanded from the person person the things that he simply could not give to her based on his type. It's very interesting actually how different types and different predominant archetypes in each type make us face our challenges, because challenges all of us face, and some challenges they can be life-changing. And it's very interesting when we want to assess a person's type, we should see how this person handles challenges in their lives. And if we look at Jennifer Lopez, we see that when some challenges started to happen in her life back in 2010, when her album was not so great and the contract with the Sony Music was cancelled, she could maybe just drop all of it. She had already a lot of achievements, so she could leave the stage, she could maybe just concentrate on a little bit different activities and go into family life and everything. She did rebranding. So she accepted her defeat or maybe a lack of success in some spheres. She went over it, but she went it through with action and with a very new version of herself. This is the pure Amazon Queen link bond, because the person overcomes challenge with action. If she had a strong lover, she would just let it go, wait for some time, maybe concentrate on different things. She would definitely go into family like severely and everything like this. If she had a strong fairy, she would just leave it with magic. She would go to India, sit in ashrams and pray for her lavish life coming back to her, or she would go into spirituality and everything. But what she did, she just continued with that. She actually took the same path, but through the different dimension, and it proves us that we see a very strong Amazon Queen. So what is actually the conclusion that we can have and make for ourselves after just discovering the story of one person? I would tell you as a typologist that the key actually thing that everyone has to understand is that we're all different. We're all different, and that is why it is very important to us when we are comparing ourselves to celebrities to understand whether we are the same in real, because sometimes all of us and a lot of problems in society now happen because we females, we assess ourselves through other females whom we see as celebrities and everything. We don't know the cost and what it actually costed to these women to achieve what they have and to become who they are. If we are similar to them in our type, then yes, it's useful for us maybe to watch their lives, to employ some of the methods or features, because if we have the same combo of energies and same archetypes, it can be useful for us. But what if we're different? What if we're opposite? The same methods, the same life and everything, they can actually harm us because they not bringing us to ourselves. They take us far from ourselves. And this comparison can never be equal because we're different. And I can tell you for sure that Jennifer Lopez will be happy to have some lover fairy in her circle to also maybe learn from, and we all learn from each other, and to assess and employ some methods and everything. If you are a beautiful lover fairy and you have a totally different energies and methods and strategies of your type, and you assess yourself to Jennifer Lopez's type, that you are definitely not there. So the first thing we should all start from is to assess ourselves, to understand our type that we have from childhood, then to understand what is our actual type that we live in, because sometimes they are not the same. The society transforms us, our life transforms us, our partners transforms us. We have to assess all of this, and only then we have to look at the public people and celebrities or someone we can learn from. What advice I can give you if you see yourself in Jennifer Lopez today, if you see that you are maybe in some period of life you face kind of similar challenges. Of course, as a typologist, I will tell you that the first thing you need to do is to really go to a professional and identify your type, because this is from where everything starts, where the system of coordinates starts to disclose. If you don't have such opportunity now, I want you to think just about one thing, that we are living in duality. We don't have to just think about it. We don't have to search for similarities. We have to learn to accept differences, because we are all different, and actually in the system of typology says that the ideal partner for you is almost 100% different. It's not the same as you, so you cannot really transfer all your own values and your energies and just pour it at the person and expect that he will be the same as. And even the most successful and long-lasting unions and couples in this world, they always have this play of differences, 100% differences matching, and by being loyal to each other, are discovering like the new energies in each other, which are not actually your own energies, but you discover the new in other person, and he shows you completely different world that you discover, and by that you build something in common together, which is not yours, not your partner's, but it's a new beautiful creature. If you think about this in this way, that everything is dual and don't like just try to possess everything and implement and spread your energy the way you are, it will give you a lot of space for actually acceptance and going